Well, Kenneth, Q, welcome to the pod. So, how did you end up here in Utah?
I've been trying to look for places to go. Well, since I was a kid, my parents wanted me to go to a school like out overseas. The plan was maybe gonna be United States, close to the church. I'm from Bolivia. My parents are big into the Utah Mormon Church, the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints.
Okay.
So they always try to get close to the culture, get close to the people to there. Once I learned English, they said, "Oh, maybe you're ready to go into school there, so you can meet other people from your religion, and just like overall, just like have a nice, start a new life, I
Yeah,
guess."
I didn't know that. So, like, they always wanted you to kind of go to Utah. Like, since you were a kid, that was like the dream for you.
Not for me.
Not for you, for your parents. For
It
your
was
parents.
actually, yeah, my it was my dad's dream to go to Utah, because he was like a really good student. So he was getting scholarships to other places, and his dream was to get a scholarship here to Utah to Brigham Young University. He couldn't, so that's why he passed me the dream. So he basically
Yeah.
threw me here.
Yeah, he passed you the dream. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, you're a big boy. You can make your own choices. Why did you come here?
I think it was because of my friends. So I went on a mission, like a LDS mission. It was 2 years with people from all over the world, mainly for people from Utah,
Yeah.
like you.
Yeah. That's where I met you.
Yeah, that's where I met you, and that's how I figure out like, oh, maybe like people from Utah are cool. I mean, yeah, I should go live there. Plus,
People
I
from
keep
Utah,
studying.
for the record, people from Utah are cool.
Yeah, yeah, that was my thought before. Maybe they're cool. But
Maybe
now,
they're cool. Now you
they
know
are
they're
for
cool,
sure.
bro.
They're cool,
Yeah. Okay, so on the mission, you met a bunch of Utahns. You didn't? Did you serve your mission in the States or?
No, my mission was in the Caribbean.
Right. Okay. Right on.
So I had to learn all the English from the Caribbean, and like all the people from Utah also helped me.
You had to learn your English from a bunch of like Jamaican accent type of English, and that's like broken English, so that can be tough. Wow. I mean, you did learn a little bit like back in Bolivia, right? Like in school.
Yes, I did learn. I took some classes for a year. On an institute too. I took classes, but I wasn't too good at English because when I got there, I couldn't speak really.
Right. Yeah. Well, and it's always different, like learning it in a textbook versus being out there, and people talk fast and they do things differently. So that's cool, bro. Well, we're glad to have you in Utah. Why do you stay? Why are you still in Utah?
So I started my school program. I'm going to Ensign College now, doing computer science there. I'm on my second year, and I'm planning on transferring to Brigham Young University. It's a little more south in Utah, and I'm gonna be 2 more years there, I think,
Okay, 2 more years at BYU in computer science.
in computer science, or maybe something related, like
Maybe something else.
yeah, software, something with
Okay.
software.
Yeah. No, that's where a lot of people go, bro. A lot of nerds at BYU. Don't worry, I'm one of them. So a lot of people just like you and me, bro.
Yeah, that's what I'm worried about. Because back home there's not much of like competence. No, it's not competence. It's like everybody's racing towards something. Like
Competition.
competition. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Everybody's competent in
That's funny
Bolivia.
because competent means like
Able.
smart or intelligent. Yeah,
Yeah,
able,
able.
right? Exactly. Not a
Yeah.
lot of competition. Okay.
Yeah, there's a lot of competition here, so it's gonna be tougher. And I heard BYU is also tough.
Well, do you want to stay here and like work in the States, or do you want to take your talents back to Bolivia and like what's your plan?
So currently Bolivia is not going through like the best economic phase.
I am out of the loop on Bolivian news. What's going on?
Yeah, so basically the president a few years back had a coup, and basically the whole country and the whole economy was messed up for that. Some of the politicians turned up to be, what is it when they lie to people and then
Corrupt.
corrupt
Corruption in the government.
They
Okay.
ended up to be
A
corrupt.
coup. That's when they like try to kill the president, right?
Yes, when they
Okay.
take over the government and all that.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
It was crazy. Like a bunch of people died that year.
When was this?
This was in 2021. So Bolivia is not really a good place to be in right now. So you can't exchange currencies in Bolivia.
Wow.
So it is crazy. So I'm planning on going back to, well, I'm planning on staying here hopefully because I don't want to go back to Bolivia
Yeah.
until at least until it improves. The plan was for me to get a master's degree or something like a graduates program into Russia or some of the places.
Really?
The main plan was
Interesting.
Russia before the war started,
Sure, yeah.
but just
Very interesting.
Europe in general. Yeah.
That's interesting. So, I mean, in America, we kind of look at Russia and China as like the bad guys, like generally. Like my whole life, that's kind of how I've just looked at Russia as a country. Because, like, you know, my parents or grandparents grew up with like the Cold War. But I mean, with you being not from America, I guess that's interesting. You don't have that same perspective. You've never thought of Russia as the bad guy. You've just thought, like, yeah, cool country in Europe, right?
True. Yeah, because of international relationships, like actually America is the bad guy. Because the president,
Really?
yeah, because the president says a lot of stuff about the bad guy. Says about the capitalism is bad,
Capitalism
is bad, and things like that.
Sorry, you're saying that that's what the president of Bolivia was saying?
Uh-huh.
Okay,
Yeah,
the president of Bolivia was saying America's the bad and
The bad.
capitalism's bad.
Uh-huh.
Okay.
And Russia, in our country, has like a lot of investments. They give out scholarships for people. They made a lot of deals with like technology. They donate a lot of money. We also donate a lot of materials for them to build stuff. So,
Oh, so Bolivia and Russia have had like strong relations for a while? I didn't know that.
uh-huh.
Okay.
Yeah, that's why. Yeah, there's not many Russian people in Bolivia,
Sure.
but it's like we are connected, and I know a bunch of people that have gone to Russia and get a degree there.
Way cool. Okay.
So that was the plan in the beginning.
That's dope. Okay. Well, awesome, man. Well, we're glad you're still here in Utah. And hey, you heard the news. Donald Trump said that you know, if international students who get a degree, automatic green card, right? So you're probably what do they call it? A Trumper. You're probably a far right now, huh?
Yeah, exactly. That's what I was telling to everyone, because like Trump was the bad guy for us before. So
Yeah, yeah.
right after he said that, I was a Trumper.
You're like, all right, never mind.
Yeah.
Give me one of those red hats. That's you.
I don't know a bunch of people from Bolivia too. They switch sides.
Really? Okay. Interesting. I want to know, Q, like thinking back on your life, you know, I guess back in Bolivia, what is your earliest memory?
I think I thought about it when I was a kid. I think before, like when I first started walking, I think that was before my first year walking. I don't know how.
No, you're saying it right. Walking, yeah.
Walking.
Saying before you were walking.
No, after I started.
Oh
Walking,
yeah, after. I was gonna say, bro. You remember before walking?
But
it's kinda
before
crazy.
my first year,
Okay.
before my first birthday, I remember my grandpa was giving us, because we were like 4 kids in our house at the time. Me, my sister, and 2 of my cousins. We were both less than 5 years old, I think. And I remember like the first thing I remember was like him giving us food. Like we lined up, like 4 kids lined up right after him, and then he would give us food, and then we go back to the line. That was the most wholesome thing that I remember, and like we smiled to him and we said thank you, Grandpa, and I know that was before my first year, because no one told me about that. I just like told my parents, hey, I think I remember that, but I know it was before my first birthday, because my grandpa passed away on my first birthday. So
That is crazy. I don't think I remember anything before I was 1 year old. That's pretty impressive, dude. That's crazy.
I think that's my oldest memory. I think that's one of my most like important too, because I've never met my grandpa. So
Well, obviously you have.
well, yeah,
I know what you mean.
for
I know
one
what you
year,
mean.
but never got to talk to him and all that stuff.
That is way cool. So tell us about your family then. Did you grow up with those cousins in the same house as you, or?
No, actually, because of my dad was getting a job where he was teaching people, he was moved around a lot of cities in our country. So right after my first or second, right after my first birthday, I moved to another city in my country. I stayed there for a few years, or 2 years, I think. I moved to another city, and then I moved 2 more times after that.
So when you say you're moving around and bouncing around these cities, how big is that size-wise? Like, how big is the country of Bolivia compared to, like, I don't know, is it the size of Utah? Is it?
No, Bolivia
Texas?
must
I don't know.
be the size of the western side of the U.S.
Okay.
Like from California until I'd say,
Like Kansas,
Wyoming.
the middle. Oh, Wyoming. Okay, so like the western part. So Wyoming to California, east to west. Okay.
And there's around like 7 to 8 big cities, like the main cities that each state has. And we live in most all of them.
Very cool. Okay.
So yeah, I didn't get to live with my cousins or anything. It was just me and my sister.
That is a significant amount of moving, right? I'm just picturing myself like moving to California, moving to Oregon, moving to Idaho. Like those are like big distances that you're moving around a lot. Okay.
Yeah. So yeah, it was pretty big, and it was different cities, different weathers. So it was always like getting to know new people, new lifestyles as well. Because we moved to houses, we moved to small places like apartments, and it was really fun to be growing up with my family.
Okay. So mom and dad in the house together. You're raised by both your parents. Any siblings?
Yes, mom and dad and 3 siblings,
Three. Okay.
2 younger and 1 older.
Are they here in the States too? Like, how often are you talking to them, hanging out with them?
No, all of them are in Bolivia actually right now.
Wow, you're the only one that's
It's come
here.
up this far, yeah.
Okay. Do they see that as is that like a big accomplishment? Like, wow, he made it to America, or is it just kind of like, oh, cool, he's in a different country?
Yes.
Or is it kind of like, why did he abandon us? Like, what?
Yes, it is. It is an accomplishment because of I guess the economics.
Yeah.
Like most people in Bolivia can't afford to go out of the country. Can't afford to like even maybe take a vacation out of the country.
Wow.
So once you have enough money to get out of the country, you have to get out of the country because everybody wants to get out of South America.
Wow. Okay.
So it is a big accomplishment among some people.
Okay.
Some people do want to stay in Bolivia because it's nice. They want to improve their own country and all that.
Sure.
But getting out there and learning more stuff, learning more cultures is also important.
More opportunities up here, I guess. I get
Yes.
what you're saying for degrees.
Uh-huh.
So they're all still back there, and are any of them planning on coming up here?
Yes, my little sister, she's like 4 years younger than me. She's 19 or 20. She's planning on coming here next spring. She's also planning on coming to BYU as well.
Wow.
And because of the same circumstances as me, she's learning English. She's met a lot of Utahns, so she wants to come here as well.
How has she met a bunch of Utahns? Did she go on a mission too?
Yes,
or?
she's on a mission in Bolivia as well, and has met like a lot of people. She says her best friends are from Idaho and Utah. So
There you go. Yeah.
yeah, she's planning on getting roommates for like here in Provo with those people. So
That's
it's
awesome,
nice.
dude. I love that. That's so great. Having those like connections and networking for missions is huge for people. Q, what is the best compliment you've received? I have complimented you plenty of times on your shoe game. I do think that you dress like very well. You're a very fashionable and stylish guy, way more than me. You always have the nicest, latest new sneakers and swaggy t-shirts and all that. But what's the nicest compliment you've ever received?
I think it was from someone I met like last year. She said I was I can't remember her exact words, but she said I was thinking of other people a lot. I don't know what's it called because she was from here, so she used a big fancy word.
what does the word mean? That you're thinking of people a lot?
You put yourself in other people's shoes.
Sympathetic?
Sympathetic, I think.
Empathetic. Sympathetic. Okay.
Yeah, I think that was the best one because at that time, like last year, I was planning to like helping a bunch of people, and I was going out with friends asking, "Oh, do you need something?" I don't do that anymore. Okay, I don't ask people like, "Hey, you need something? I can help you with." But at that time, I was, and this person said, "Oh, you're so empathetic. You're always trying to help people out."
I love that.
I think that changed my perspective of like being here in Utah because you're supposed to like help people, right?
Yeah.
And at school, they teach us, since it's a religious center school, they teach us, oh, you're supposed to serve as Jesus Christ. Like everything you learn is just for you to become a better disciple of Jesus Christ. So everything you do, everything you learn, it has to be related to growth, helping people, doing service, and all that.
So what do you mean when you said that really changed your perspective?
Because I didn't know she was in such. I didn't know she needed that help.
Okay.
That I was offering her because she was in a bad spot in her life where I guess she was sad and she just needed someone to talk to, and she wasn't that. And I guess we all are, right, in bad places at some point, but
Sure.
she was needed at that time. Also, I also needed help in the future. Right after that, I also needed help, and I got that from other people, so that changed a lot of my.
That's
my
great,
life.
man. Yeah, I mean, everybody finds themselves at one side or the other, right? Of needing help or being in a position to offer help. And so I love that, bro. And I see that in you too. I see you as a very approachable person. I just you're like very like easygoing, chill, like approachable. Like I totally see that in you. Also, I've called you Q for as long as I know you, but your name is Kenneth Quintanilla.
Kenneth Quintanilla, all right.
How many other people call you Q?
I guess people that met me on my mission.
Okay.
Only.
People, everyone else that you meet calls you like Kenneth or Ken or
Kenneth and Ken. Ken is starting to grow more, and also Kenny.
probably because the Barbie movie, huh? Ken.
Yeah, Ken. I'm afraid of telling people my name is Ken too, because they always laugh. So nobody. My name is pronounced Quintanilla, and I guess when I was in the mission, I was telling everyone, "Oh, you have to say Quintanilla," and it's like such a hard way of pronouncing for like English speaking people.
Okay.
So they just said Elder Q. You gotta be Elder Q as short because my last name starts with a Q. But I liked it. I think it was iconic on the mission.
Yeah, it was, dude.
It's better than hearing people like try to say your last name and then completely butchering it.
No, yeah, I think that's funny. And people will like read your name tag. You're like, Elder, I'm just gonna call you Q. I'm not gonna read all that. I'm not reading that essay.
I like nicknames though. I think I've had a good amount of nicknames. Just Ken, Kenny, and Q.
What? Just by like, I don't know. You know me. What would you like pick as a nickname for me?
I think for you it's always been Chess.
Oh yeah, Chesh.
Yeah.
I forgot. That's true. On the mission, everyone called me Chesh.
I'm not much of calling everyone like by nicknames, but Cheshire, I couldn't. I remember when I first read your name tag, I couldn't say it. I thought it was Cheshire or you were from England or something.
Yeah.
So I just said Chess.
Whenever I like think of you or see you, I just think Q. I'm just like, that's Q. I don't think of you. Oh, that's Kenneth. Like I forget that's your name. I think. Do you like see me like, oh, that's Chesh, or do you think like that's James?
It's more Chesh.
It's still Chesh.
Yeah,
Okay.
it's
Wow.
more Chesh.
Good to know. I like that. What's some advice you've received before Q that's changed your life?
I guess one of my friends once told me, hey, I was telling him, it was around this time as well, like 2 years ago. It was summer break, I was traveling with some friends, but then I go back home and everything was boring. I was just working from home. And I told him, oh, everything's boring. He went to Somersaults.
Oh, nice.
And then he just left me. So I talked to this friend and said, oh, I'm bored. I don't know what to do. What do you do in Utah? He said, oh, no, just go out with friends and say yes to whatever they say. I think that was one of the best things that he told me, because he was just say yes to whatever they say.
Just say yes.
And then I started going out more, and even if I wanted to say no, I just said yes just for fun, just to see what experiences I could
Yeah.
have. Just to hang out for a little bit, I just said yes.
That's great advice.
So I haven't said no. I don't think 1 out of 10 times I say no.
Well, when you came, I was just very thinking, when you came to Utah, like how many people did you know? Like, these roommates and these friends, like you've made most of your friends since you've been here, right? When you came out here, how big was your like network of people you knew?
Okay, so I had my roommate. My roommate actually flew with me from Bolivia.
Oh, that's great.
We started school at the same time. So I had my roommate. I had a bunch of friends that lived in Provo. So I lived in Salt Lake City, and my friends lived in Provo. Well, some of the mission friends lived in Provo. That's like an hour away, like 45 minutes away.
Yeah.
So I wasn't hanging out much with them. But in reality, only just one friend. It was my roommate, and then expanded to talking more to my roommates in the house. So I had maybe four friends when I got here.
Okay, wow. Have you found that there's like a lot of people in your same situation, like people from South America who are here for school, and you're like able to kind of connect and relate with them in that way? Is it easier to make friends like that?
Yes, most of the friends I make actually are from South America,
Okay.
Spanish-speaking countries.
And is that because like you're racist or something? Or?
Yes. Again, yes, I have to say yes to that.
Have to say yes.
No, it's because I feel like with the way I speak, the way I communicate is better in Spanish. So I can talk to more people in Spanish and be more myself in Spanish.
That's tough. I have never thought of that. I can't be friends with people. It's hard to be friends with people that I can't explain myself to. I've never thought of that. That's very interesting. That must be tough.
Yeah.
You're in an English-speaking country and you can't really adequately express yourself.
Yeah, it's like you never. I always feel bad for myself because, like people, like English-speaking people, they don't know my personality. They just know my English personality. That is
right.
Like just a little bit of what I do, of what I say.
That is interesting. I've never thought of that. That makes me like look at you differently. Like I only know you based on what I perceive, based on my conversations and my interactions with you. And if our conversations and interactions are limited by, your English speaking ability, then that makes it like connect differently. That's very interesting. Okay, wow.
Most of the time I will mimic like what people are saying in English. So if you're like saying certain words in English, I'll say the same things. Just because I don't know how to speak English as well, right?
Yeah. Wow.
Yeah, but most of my people are Hispanic speaking, just so I can like talk more with them.
So whether it's strangers, even people what's something that you wish people knew about you?
And I think is that I'm very quiet. Yeah, I wish that, because sometimes I talk a lot, but it's not really what I'm thinking.
I get what you're saying. I think I do. You're saying like when you're quiet, you don't want people to think that you like don't like them because you're being quiet.
Yes, I think that's, yeah, because when I've hung out with people before, they said, "Oh, you probably don't like me. You're just on your phone, or you're just quiet, or you're just ignoring me."
I get you.
That's happened a lot of times.
Well, and is that just like you said? Is that your English personality, or is that like in Spanish too?
That's
you're a quiet
also
person?
for my Spanish personality. That's
Okay.
Overall. I think it was mainly because I was raised that way. We don't, I guess in my family, my city where I grew up in, we don't talk too much. It's just like quality time more than sharing like gossip and
Very interesting. Okay. So, what are some foundational principles that guide your life?
You mean in a sense of religion, or
Just any sense, like anything that you've like kind of held on to growing up, or like what are some beliefs, or what are some values that have impacted your life and made you who you are?
Okay, yeah, I gotcha. I guess one of them is the church. The church is a big part, just like being a good person, doing the right things, helping others. That's a big one. The second one that I think my parents and like my family did or was important is just to never say a lie. Just I think those are one of the main two ones. I always tell the truth. I always try to tell the truth in
Straight up.
important.
Okay. What do you think your biggest accomplishment is?
I don't really know. I don't measure too much. I think that's weird that I don't measure my accomplishments, because I see myself comparing myself to other people. Yeah. I see like you finish school, right? Or
No.
Well, like
Still
most people our age finish school, so I don't want to be say like, oh, I'm about to finish school. That's my biggest accomplishment, because that's not really a big accomplishment.
Yeah, I mean, I guess if you're comparing yourself, yeah, like you can, but I feel like there's always gonna be people out there that have accomplished more than you and stuff, and so you kind of also have to praise yourself, like your biggest accomplishment could be like, I don't know, changing as a person and breaking this bad habit, or becoming like a more patient person. I don't know. Your biggest accomplishment could be like, I served my whole mission. Like I left the country for 2 years and I learned English and it was way hard and I wanted to go home, but I didn't. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah, I guess maybe changing my way of living, because it took a long time for me to like get used to living here in Utah. That's a big accomplishment, I think.
oh yeah, dude.
Life back in Bolivia is just like a whole different thing. Even with water, like how you even go to the bathroom, how you drink water.
What do you mean? How do you go to the bathroom and drink water? How is that different from Bolivia?
You have to boil water in Bolivia. Boil.
Oh,
water.
for drinking water, you have to
drinking
boil the water.
You have to boil.
Wow.
In the bathroom, it's different. Yeah, it is different. I'm not gonna say it, but it's normal, but it's a little different. How you brush your teeth, how you like take care of yourself, it's also a big part.
I wonder how many people even know how like lucky we are that we don't have to boil our water. Like as a kid, I just walk up to my fridge and push the magic button and it sings to me as it gives me water. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
and you're having to boil your water growing up. Like, that's just...
It's a big change. It's a big change coming to.
Well, yeah, and I think that's a huge accomplishment to assimilate into a new culture, a new country, a new language. Like that is a massive adjustment to do. And like, if you do it when you're 4 years old, your parents move to a country, that's easy. But when you're growing up and you have these different customs and way of life, that's way hard to do.
Yeah.
So that's way cool. I admire you for that. And also like you want to stay here, and that's a lifelong thing you have to be aware of. Is like, that's just great. That's great. Okay, if money was not an object if you didn't have to worry about money, what would you do? How would you spend your time? What would your life be like?
I think I would like to go live probably close to an ocean or a lake.
Interesting.
Just be in the water in a warm weather, preferably with my parents. I will also bring my parents with me because I think, like when when I look at them, I just feel like they worked for their whole lives and they just needed a rest already. And I think it will be mainly just like focused on my parents, just to help them relax. Me myself, just to set me up and then
Kind of give back to what they've done for you.
uh-huh.
Why do you look up to them so much? Why are they these big idols for you?
I guess because they helped me come here, right? Because, well, when I was a kid, they paid for everything. They paid for my food. They made my food. They paid for everything I wanted. Then once I grew up, I know I needed a job, but at least I was working for a little bit, but it was not enough money just to save up and come here and get an education here because it's expensive, and not because of the currency and all the differences. So they made the big effort of not wasting, right? But like
spending,
spending their money on me, and then for me to get a degree here.
Wow, I like that perspective. That's also probably very motivating to think like, I know how much my parents sacrificed to get me to this spot. I can't waste it. Like I have to and maybe there's a lot of pressure on you too. Do you feel like you're like, dude, school is hard and it kind of sucks, but like I have to perform because I know how much they sacrificed for me to be here. Do you kind of think that way sometimes?
Yeah, that's how I'm always thinking at school. It's like, because back at Bolivia, the minimum wage,
Yeah,
it's $300 per month.
$300 a month in U.S. money.
In U.S. money.
Okay.
Yeah. So in Bolivian pesos, it would be like 2,100, and that's a lot of money in Bolivia, but it's not a lot of money here. So my parents, they don't get the minimum wage, right? But they spend a lot of money, a lot of Bolivian money for me to come here. So they made a lot of effort for that, and I'm grateful for them, and I'm hopefully will be able to get enough money for them to like get them. What is it called when they stop working?
Retired.
Yeah, I'll get enough
them
money
to retire, not
for
to
them,
work forever.
to retire them.
I love that. That's a very noble goal. That's awesome. I love that's what's important to you. I respect that a lot. What brings you the most peace?
Most peace. The most peace, it's always being on a quiet place. Like being in quiet places where I just set apart one day and then just go to a quiet place. It's nice. It's mainly, I divide it between the temple, like going to an LDS temple, or just going to watch the sunset, like on a mountain or something, while I do homework. Those are the two main things I do. I think just like being quiet, being on my own time, that helps me a lot to
That
get
helps
peace.
you a lot. Just like finding isolation, like you're saying, to be alone and to find that. Very cool. I can kind of resonate with that too. I feel like with my brain though, I always have like a song stuck in my head, even if I haven't heard it in years, or I just like had these ideas pop up. So even if I'm like in a quiet place, my brain like sometimes won't let me be like that. You know what I mean? So I don't know. It's different for everybody, but I love that works for you. That's great. And Utah's a great place for views, man. Like sunsets and the mountains. Like it's a very beautiful place. Is Bolivia the same? Does Bolivia have a lot of mountains and stuff? Is the terrain similar?
Yes, the terrain is very similar. The city I live in is La Paz, and it's like one of the highest cities.
Is that the capital?
Yes.
Okay.
The capital, and it's the whole city is just built on a mountain.
They have that super long rail car. What's it called? Thing.
Cable cab.
Yeah, cable cab, like a ski lift. They have like a super long one, right?
Yeah, it's actually public transportation. It's pretty cheap too. It's like 50 cents in the US.
50 US cents?
Yes.
This is a public dude, that's crazy. I'd take a bus across town. It's like 3 times that or something, you know?
Yeah, it is.
You
It is
get
very
a cool
cheap.
cable car for 50 cents. That's cool.
It is very cheap there, and yeah. So back home, there's a lot of mountains. I didn't get to do a lot of that because I didn't have a car there.
Yeah.
And public transportation is also sketchy in some parts of the city, so I couldn't go to most places. But here, I can just drive like 10-20 minutes and I'm on a mountain already. So
That's so cool. Here's what I wanted to ask you. What do you think the world will look like in 20 years? So it's 2024. In 2044, what do you think the world will look like? And I think you would have a different perspective since, you know, you've grown up out of the country and you just see the world differently. But I want to know what you think the world's going to look like in 20 years.
I thought about this. I honestly think it would look the same.
Interesting.
It will look
Okay.
the same. Most of the people now, especially like I get on TikTok, right, and most people are like nostalgic about like, oh, this is so nice. I wish this would be forever. And people look back to like the last year, the last summer, last month. They're always looking up for ways of remembering how happy something made them. I think that in a few years, everything will be just the same. Like same restaurants, same everything. Because people are loving this so much. They get used to this so much that they will just keep it going.
That is a great perspective. I feel like it's very easy to get caught up in the news with like AI and Chat GPT, and it's gonna take all of our jobs and like, and I don't know, like politics, wars. But you're like, you know what? Like people really like this and they value it. They're gonna find a way to make it stay like this. Like, that's a great perspective. I like that.
Yeah, I think so too. Because I've seen pictures from like I've heard how some Utahns talked about like the U.S. and Utah in 2017, 2018. And like I don't think hasn't been anything new like in Utah, right? No new restaurants, no new anything. So
Yeah.
it's just been the same. And I think it's nice. It should stay like that.
You gotta change that, bro. Get some Bolivian cooking up in here, bro.
Yeah, some Bolivian restaurants, and that'll be nice.
That would be the dream. If you're like you retire your parents, get your mom up here and have her open up a restaurant just for fun. You know what I mean? Like if money wasn't an object, do you think she'd like that?
No, actually,
That's such a stereotype, dude. I'm sorry, but like I think it's just like a stereotype that I don't know we have in our culture. I have maybe because of like movies I've seen or something that we just kind of think that like I don't know Hispanic or in South America it's all like I don't know food is like a big thing and it's like oh yeah the food and you think about it like there's so many like Mexican restaurants that I love to go to. There's like probably 10 Mexican restaurants within like 10 miles of me right now, you know what I mean? So I think I just kind of have that perspective and think that. But
their perspective is always like, oh, families in South America, they love to eat, they love to get together. And
okay, good. So I'm a little bit justified in having that stereotype in my head.
Exactly,
Okay.
and that's true. Like in South America, well, at least in Bolivia, we get together a bunch of times a year and we just cook. But my mom, she hates cooking because she's been cooking for my family. My older sister, she's 26 or 27, I think. So she's been cooking for nearly 30 years every day.
That's crazy.
And she doesn't like it anymore. She prefers to go out and do something else, like eat something else. She cooks great, but she just doesn't.
For the
cook
record,
anymore.
she cooks great.
Uh-huh.
Shout out. We're not saying anything against your cooking. Well, and you say like, oh, in South America we like to eat so much, bro. You do not like to eat as much as we do in America because America, I saw a stat today, like 42% of America is obese. 42%. You know how crazy that is, man?
It is pretty bad. When I got here, I think I gained 20 to 30 pounds. And it was hard to get those pounds off. And it was crazy because like most cheap food, since I had saved up money from Bolivia and I had to spend it like wisely here, but little by little. But most of the cheap food was McDonald's and maybe Taco Bell. So I had to go to those places to get cheap food. And it's just bad. There's so much calories in that.
That's so interesting to hear. Like from your perspective, is like, okay, it's not about that we like to eat more. It's that we like to eat just as much as everybody else, but our food is just so terrible.
Uh-huh.
Like you like to eat more, but it's like good, healthy, real food. We like to eat more, and it's like processed from a factory, Big Mac, like, you know, not healthy stuff. Very interesting.
And it's everything that there is here in Utah. Well, in the U.S., I guess.
Yeah.
Because everything is imported, so a lot of
Yeah.
sugary drinks, which I like. I also heard like Utah has a big Dr. Pepper.
Yeah, 1 second. Sorry, I had to step away for a minute. You were saying sugary drinks. You love them, and here in Utah, we're big fans of Dr. Pepper.
Oh yes, I heard in the news that they're like I think it was 48% of Dr. Pepper production was sold here in Utah.
I believe it, man. I believe it because we don't drink. It's weird. We say, oh no, we're not going to drink coffee. Like, come on. But I'll have 10 Dr. Peppers, no problem. I'll get my caffeine there.
Yeah, that's a big one. I've actually started to get like after the gym every day. I started to get Dr. Pepper, but the diet Dr. Pepper.
Oh yeah, there you go.
That's way healthier, and I went to that Dr. Pepper.
Well, I saw like there's like some special Dr. Pepper version out right now, like the coconut cream. Have you heard of that?
Oh, yes.
I think I actually have like 10 in my fridge. This is crazy, dude. After this, come look at my fridge. This is embarrassing.
There's something about Utah people, and like they have so much addictions.
Addictions, yeah. Well, so this is good to hear from your perspective about Utah people. What are some of the Utah addictions that you see?
See, like in other countries and other states, they have the like drug addictions, right? There's a group of people that has drug addictions, alcohol addiction, video game addictions. Here, they can't do that because of their religion, right?
Uh-huh.
But they just overcompensate in like Top Golf. They go to Top Golf.
Golf.
They go boating and like go hiking. Hiking addictions. I think that's a real thing in Utah.
Okay, yeah.
They do hike a lot. Sodas as well. There's like Swig. That's a big
Swig and Sodalicious and Fizz. Yeah, there's all those like soda companies where they put the syrups in it.
Mm-hmm. So no. What is the place where they sell drinks like alcohol
bars?
Drinks?
What kind of drinks?
Like in bottles.
Alcohol, like liquor stores.
Liquor stores. There's no liquor stores. It's just like Fizz, and you see like people drinking soda all the time.
I love that. I love to hear an outsider's perspective about Utah. I mean, you are a person of Utah. You know, we'll claim you. We'd love to have you here. But I love that our addictions. So hiking, boating, Top Golf. Those are some big Utah addictions you see.
Also the Stanley Cups. I think I've
Stanley
seen you
Cups. Dude, that is a great one. I forgot about.
Mm-hmm. I think I actually saw you with a Stanley Cup down there.
Yes,
right?
dude. We have like 3. And my take is like, I don't remember. I think I'm like, okay, to my wife, like, we can have one and share one, whatever. Or you can just have one. I don't care. I don't need to have one. Uh-huh. But she got one for me and whatever. And then she got like another one she wanted so bad for Christmas. I'm like, you already have a Stanley. Why do you want another Stanley as a gift? And then she's trying to get me to look at this new color. I'm like, I don't care if it's a new color. It's $50 or whatever to get one. I don't want it $50 in a water bottle. And then now it's Hydro Jug. Have you heard of them?
Hydro Jug.
They're the next, like, I think they're going to be bigger than, I don't know if they're going to be bigger than Stanley, but they're like another big one. Yeah, we've got Stanleys. We've got Hydro Jugs. That is a great point. That's a big addiction we have, bro. Probably Botox, I bet, in Utah. Botox. I don't know if it's just what I see. You know, Botox is like make you look young. You
injections.
The injections, yeah. I wonder if Utah has more of that than other places. I don't know.
I don't think I haven't seen too much of that.
Maybe LA has the most Botox, actually. California.
Yeah, but I think those are healthy addictions, though. It's just people that are just trying to be happy.
Yeah.
With what they have, and I think Utah is a great place to just have that stuff.
So you haven't. You like the mountains, but you're not a big hiker, huh? You're not into the hiking addiction?
No, I started to go hikes, but I don't think that's my thing.
It's not for you.
Yeah.
What's your thing? What's like your favorite free time to do? You know, you don't have school, you don't have anything. Like, what do you do for fun?
I do like, well, some of my free time I spend it on video games. I love video games. I'm a big fan. I have a console and a PC as well. I have a big setup of like 2 monitors, and I have like the all light up keyboard and mouse and all that.
That's sick. What games do you play?
I mainly play like first person shooter games like Valorant. Actually, just Valorant. I've been addicted to that.
Well, dude, that's funny you say that, because yesterday, the day before, I went out and I bought Modern Warfare 3 and I bought a PlayStation Plus subscription. And I know that's cross-platform, so if you're down to take a break from Valorant and come play COD with me, or Rocket League. Do you play Rocket League at all?
I haven't played it too much, but I've played it before. I think it's fun.
So I used to be a huge video gamer, like in high school and stuff, and then like, you know, I went my mission, came back, and I never like really got into it, but I'm getting back into it. Have you heard of Lethal Company?
Lethal Company.
It's like a funny game where you like wear an orange suit and you go and collect scrap metal on planets and.
Oh yes, I've heard that one. I've seen it on social media. It's so fun.
Yeah, it's fun. I play that game all the time with my friend. Well, actually, one of my good friends, I'm gonna have on the podcast soon. He holds the world record for the best like Lethal Company run, like the most quotas and most like he holds like the world record right now.
No way.
Yeah, he's good, bro.
That's so fun.
Yeah, that's fun. First person shooters, anything else? Do you play FIFA at all, or like sport games or no?
First person shooters has been mainly it. So I'm kind of short of money, so I can't buy a lot of video games. So that's been first person shooter. free games.
Be careful, bro. They're gonna draft you. They're gonna look at your like. They're gonna look at your KD ratio, and they're gonna draft you in the military.
If I get a citizenship, I might be okay with that.
That's the thing. I've only gotten back into it recently because my brother-in-law is a big Twitch streamer, bro. If you look up Beatus Boy, like Beetus Boii, which diabetes. He has diabetes, so he calls his name Beatus Boy.
Oh, that's so sad.
That's his Twitch stream. Now he's funny. He's cool. But yeah, he plays a lot of COD and stuff. I think he plays Valorant too. But yeah, he's been big on it. And we went on this family trip a couple weeks ago to Lake Tahoe. And whenever we were just home, like for the night, we would play that. And I'm like, bro, I missed the Call of Duty so much. And now I'm back on the grind, bro. That's fun. No, I love that about you. And that makes sense. Like you said, you consider yourself a quiet person, so being in your room with your video games, that's like a good place to be, you know?
That's nice. I do also, most of my free time is spent on video games, but also I love going out with friends too. Just like, I probably went out to eat like this past July every day. Like I went out to eat every day with, I have a group of friends where they all like say, oh, we should go out. If one is hungry, then we all go with that person.
One person wants to go out. Everybody, all right, you convinced me. Fine, I guess I'll go.
Right. I think I am like that because maybe I have ADHD or autism. One of the two. Right. So it's just like I overcompensate. I like think in my head, and I don't want to be bored, so I just go out and do whatever.
I love that. I have ADHD or autism or something. That's so funny, dude.
Yeah, like I've always thought about that.
Q, I know you're big into music. What would you say your favorite artist is, at least right now?
Oh, I was thinking about that too. Right now, I've been listening to a Hispanic artist. His name is Alvaro.
I don't think I know him.
He's very small. His name is Alvaro Diaz. This is actually his merch that I'm wearing.
The shirt you're wearing, that's his. Okay.
I do also got tickets for a concert, like VIP tickets for a concert in LA.
Okay, hold up, bro. A few minutes ago, you said, oh, I don't have enough money to buy these new video games. And now you're saying you went out to eat every day this last month and you got VIP tickets to LA?
Oh, it's because, like, you have to budget. Budget for games, I don't have it. I think it's just a waste of time. It's fun time, but it's a waste of time.
That's valid. So your budget for games is low, but your budget for eating out is bigger. That's valid.
So this artist especially, I like him since I think it's been like 3 years since I like him. I've been listening to him like every day. Like I listen to his album at least once a day.
What type of music? Like hip hop, pop?
He is mostly of a hip hop. Sad pop kind of vibes. Maybe more like think of David.
Yes, I know him.
Maybe like him, but in Spanish.
Okay, that's valid. That's cool. That's like chill, mellow, like low key. Yeah. That's cool.
I've been liking him a lot. So yeah, I think I obsessed with him too because I listen to his music all the time. I got a few hoodies from him, shirts. I spent a lot of money on his merch.
Yeah. Told you dress really well, bro. You're swaggy.
Yeah, I'm trying to
for those who obviously can't see, which would be all of you because this is just a recording. Q came over to my house today wearing Lightning McQueen Crocs.
Yes, I actually got those like 4 days ago.
I saw on your Instagram. I know, bro. Like ka-chow.
Those are actually the second pair I have because the first one was too small. So this one is the bigger size for special occasions, like coming to a podcast.
For special occasions, you got dripped out for coming today. I feel honored, bro. That's great. That's funny. I've never heard of what's his name again? The artist?
Alvaro Diaz.
Alvaro Diaz. Okay, I'll look him up. See, there's a few Latin artists that I love. I went to a Maluma concert. I told you in Vegas before. I like Maluma. Everybody likes Bad Bunny, bro. Like J Balvin. Like, do you not like Peso Pluma?
I like some of his songs, but I think he's been coming out with music so much. I think he's come out with 3 albums in the last year. And they all sound the same. So
okay, so you're kind of sick of him being like in the spotlight and sick of hearing his music all the time.
Yeah, because it sounds the same, so it's not.
Okay, it's valid.
Really good.
That's valid. Also, you know Carol G.
Carol G, yes,
I like her. She's cool.
I actually went to her boyfriend's or fiance's, I think, concert. His name is Fade.
Fade.
He came like a month or 2 ago. He also does great music.
Yeah, you've been to like so many concerts, dude. I've only ever been to, you know what? you and I went to Pitbull. Remember that, bro? So fun.
2021. It was I think it was my first concert, like official concert. It was one of the most fun concerts I've been
That
to.
was so funny. And then Iggy Azalea opened up for him. I didn't even know. I'm like, bro, we accidentally went to see Iggy Azalea.
And it was crazy because like it was a week or two before that we got the tickets, right? And I told you, oh, this app has like a promotion, and we got the tickets for like $20 or $25.
Yeah, it was great. I remember you like, hey, I got a deal. You want to go to Pitbull? I'm like, Pitbull with Q? Sounds like a great time. Let's do it, bro.
Yeah, I'm also going to a lot of concerts. I strive to go to a lot of concerts. It just makes me happy.
Yeah, that's great, dude. I've only ever been to Jason Derulo when I was in high school.
Oh, that's nice.
Did I tell you? So he came to UVU here in Orem, and kind of close to where you're gonna live actually, because it's right by the freeway. There used to be an IHOP, and now I don't know what's there anymore. You know, like where the Crumble headquarters is. Do you see that?
I think I passed through
With the cookie company.
Yep.
Anyway, so it's really close to where you're living. I'll show you. There was an IHOP there, and after the concert, I was with one of my good friends. We went to IHOP, and it was like 1 a.m., like 2 a.m. I don't know. My phone was dead, sadly, but she had her phone, and all of his, on-stage dancers start walking in wearing just wearing those stage outfits, a lot of skin showing, just walking into IHOP at 2 a.m. I'm like, what are these chicks doing walking in here? And then Jason Derulo walks in behind all them in like his fur coat, like walking in, and I'm like, oh, just as close as you and me are right now. He just walks right past me. I'm like, oh my gosh, like Jason Derulo. So it was just me and her, and then Jason Derulo and all of his friends at like 2 a.m. at IHOP. That was the only people in the whole IHOP. And I was like, dang, bro. So I got some pictures and stuff, and I went around to the window outside, and I was like getting selfies through it. So yeah, Jason Derulo. But anyway, Jason Derulo, Pitbull. I think those are the only concerts. Oh, and Maluma, obviously.
I love music. I love concerts. It's just like a nice peaceful feeling right after the concert.
Have you ever thought about like making music at all, or right? You love music so much.
I thought about that because I have a nice PC, so I was thinking of producing, but I looked up into it, and it's really hard because you have to get things cleared with copyright, and probably I'll give it another shot now that we're on summer break.
Yeah, bro. You're the next Metro Boomin, bro.
Do a nice intro. Actually, I'm going to the Metro Boomin concert.
Oh, really? Dude, I
2 weeks.
love Superhero. Like his newer song. I don't know why that song. When I hear that pop up on my queue, I just turn up my radio.
Yeah, same.
Yeah, that's a great song. He's got a lot of good songs. He's been around for a while. What was I gonna say? What would your tag be? It's like Metro Boomin wants some more. He has that or whatever. Like murder on the beat, so it's not nice. Like what would yours be?
So some of my friends have been calling me Kenny G. Like, what does G stand for? Is it
G?
for OG or?
No, it doesn't really stand for anything. But that's like a common like thing. Like like such a G, a real G, OG, like original gangster, like original like. It's kind of, I don't know if it has like a literal connotation, but people do say like, "What's up, G?" or like Kenny G. It's just like it just sounds cool. You know what I mean? I don't think it means
some of my friends been telling me Kenny G.
Kenny G.
And I think that sounds cool. I don't think it sounds cool, but I think it sounds iconic and okay.
I know what you mean. I know what you mean. It's catchy. It's catchy. People are gonna like that. Kenny G on the track.
Maybe I'll do maybe I'll do an intro for your podcast one day.
Dude, I would love that. I would love a custom like little intro, like a 10-second little intro to the podcast that you produce. Bro, that would be great.
Maybe in the future. I'll look up into it though.
Welcome to People of Utah. And like Kenny G on the track. You know what I mean? I don't know. You can just have whatever you want.
Like that.
That's sick, cool. Bro. Well, hey, in closing, Q, switching gears here, what impact do you want to leave on others before you die?
That's a big question. I think, like I mentioned before, it's just like get to experience things. Like saying no to a lot of stuff has, what is this called? Has not given me the opportunity to grow. So saying yes to everything I've gone through these past 2 years has helped me like meet new people, even if I didn't like them. And I started to like these people. So
saying yes more.
Saying yes more.
I like that a lot.
Learning from what you don't want to do. I think that's because I don't like to go to like most church activities, most like school activities, because they do the school night activities like parties and get-togethers.
Yeah.
I didn't like those, but if someone tells me, "Hey, we should go," then I go. Just
Gotta say
just
yes.
because it's fun. Yeah.
I like that. Okay. Well, Q, it's good having you on the pod. Good to see you again,
Yes.
bro. Thanks for coming.
Thank you for inviting me. So
Absolutely,
fun
bro.
to come.
All right.